Hey, what's up, gamers? It's Skelemystyk. In this video, I'm going to be talking about gold. Everybody wants it. Some people really need it, but so few actually seem to have very much of it. All across Azeroth, people are doing the darndest things to get their hands on it. I want to break Warcraft down into its economy, into its classes, and show you what it is you need to do to get up there to the top, to get yourself bags full of gold that you don't really need. All right, to do that, first, I want to cover some principles in which Warcraft is really like the real world. It seems that in Warcraft, about 5 to 10% of the people are the ones who have all the gold. They have 10 million or 50 million or 100 million gold. They have more gold than they'll ever really spend, and all they're doing whenever they make more gold is just so they can say they have more gold. They're at the point where they could buy everything in Warcraft and still have gold left over. We're going to call that class the white-collar class. And I'm going to explain what it is they do to make their gold in a moment. We have in the middle, we have what I'm going to call the gray collar class. These are people who have anywhere from 100,000 to maybe they've gold capped the first time, what have you. But their gold amount doesn't really ever change because they're really afraid to spend any gold. Or if they do spend any gold on something, they find themselves back down to where they're almost broke again. Because let's face it, in Warcraft, things cost money. And money! Then at the bottom, we have the blue-collar class. These are people who dungeon grind and mat farm, and seems like they're always doing something or other to earn gold, but also they always have empty gold bags. Maybe they'll have, a little bit of gold for a moment, but they'll buy one thing that they really want, and they'll be broke again and looking for more gold. I have a bunch of friends who are in this class. Guys, you know who you are. I'm not going to say your names. I made this video just for you, so you quit borrowing off of me. Anyway. So, going back to the white-collar class, I'm not really going to feature what they do in this video because, well, this is a video about how to cap, and those guys have already capped, and they really don't need me to cap, but I still want to tell you what it is they're doing to make their gold. For the most part, the white-collar players, the ones who have 10 million gold and more, are doing auction house flipping. They have programs, they have time to sit there and watch, they have networks on the forums, all these things, and they're buying items from poorer players, sometimes uneducated poorer players, for a lot less money than they're worth, and then they're putting them on the auction house for what they are actually worth. I've seen things like, for instance, let me give you a for instance. I saw someone once put a Blade of Wizardry on the auction house for 50 gold. Now, I'm sorry to say, I played my white collar role there, and I snatched that Blade of Wizardry up and relisted it on the auction house for, I think it was, at the time, was 9,000 gold. But that's what the white collars are doing. They're really, for the most part, they have networks of people on the forums that they talk to. They have networks of people in-game that they talk to. I mean, they pretty much, you'll see them on trade chat all the time. What they're doing is they're buying low on the auction house and then they're selling high, sometimes really high. All right. Then you have the gray collar class people. These are people, like I said, in the middle who are doing some buying and selling on the auction house. They're generally trying to sell for as much as they can get, but they have a good head as far as how the thing works. And they're just really, they're on the way up there, but they're not there yet because, well, you don't make 100 million gold overnight. I don't care how good you are, you don't. It takes a little while to do that. The blue-collar class, like I was saying, are the ones who are mat farming, and they're running dungeons and selling their greens and their blues and their purples off to the vendors and scraping by and scraping by and scraping by. And there's a lot of those. I see that all the time. People who are looking about how to make gold, and they think that's the way, and it's really not. I'm going to go ahead now and get into the meat and bones of what I'm actually talking about, not only talking about the classes, about how to make your gold. This is for the blue collars and the gray collars. Guys, the most important principle to making yourself a bunch of gold, to gold capping, to being rich, is to know your markets. Right now, the white collars who know what's going on are making money off you. They are. You need to know what those mats you just farmed are really worth, or what that pet drop that you accidentally got was really worth. Back whenever I first started playing Warcraft, I got a tiny flamefly drop, which is apparently a less than 1% drop. It's a real pain in the butt to get. At the time, I couldn't afford to buy my flying license, and someone offered me 10K for that pet, and I was in heaven. I was like, wow, 10K, really? I mean, you could see the green behind. You could see the green on me. I was bad. I was so wet behind the ears, I was dripping. These days, I know what the tiny flame fly is worth, plus a whole lot more of the pets. You need to know what the item that you're dealing with is worth. Now, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, do not go into trade chat and ask what something is worth. Do not do it. I promise you, as sure as I'm flying around this video right now, you will get troll answers. You will. People will tell you stuff that is just totally, I mean, just ridiculous. And if you don't know, they'll get you. All right? So do some homework. Check out the auction house. Check out the forums. Check out any informational sources about WoW that you want, but don't try to find your answers on trade chat. Don't do it. Do not do it. Hopefully I said that in an odd enough voice that you guys heard that out of this whole speech. Do not do it. But it is at the same time important to know what the prices are for things, what they're really worth, you know, what's currently being charged, and is there a profit margin in any of that. This especially goes for mats farmers and basic crafters who are looking to, you know, just getting into beginning items or beginning level items. Know what your things are worth. Now, you can still sell lower level mats and lower level crafting items and whatnot like that, simply because all the time there's new people coming into Warcraft who need all that lower gear to start with. You can still make money at that. You won't make the tens of thousands and tens of millions of gold on that, but it's going to take you from a blue collar beginner up into that gray collar level where you've got a little bit of gold to work with, so you can start doing some buying and selling and getting yourself into flipping in the auction house. Excuse me. And doing some of that major crafting that you need to do. Number two, and the next most important principle, is to maintain discipline. My friends, a lot of the friends I have also have this problem, maintaining discipline. They'll see that shiny flaming blade, or that awesome skull helmet, or that cool looking pet, or that flying mount they just have to have, and they'll blow every bit of gold they've got to get it. And then they won't have any gold to work with to do buying and selling or crafting or anything else to make themselves more gold. It's called, I think it's called penny rich and pound foolish. I think that's what it's called. Anyhow, there's a lot of people who do that. So what you need to do is maintain discipline. Save that gold for the thing that you're crafting to sell in the auction house. Save that gold to get the piece of gear or the article, whatever, that's going to improve your character to help you to make more gold. All the things that you need to be doing, excuse me, at the gray collar stage, especially at the lower gray collar stage, is things that are going to make you more money. Buy things that are going to make you more money only after you're sure they're going to make you more money. Or craft something that's going to make you more money. It really depends. In any case, maintain your discipline and don't just buy stuff because you can. That'll keep you broke forever. All right, third on my list. And this is important for upper level gray collars. People who've already got a little bit of gold. They've already got a little bit of resources behind them. Learn how to craft and how to do everything that you can. Not only mat farming, but learn how to do alchemy. Learn how to do enchanting. Learn how to do tailoring. I personally have a toon that has a master in every craft. I can make and do and build anything that's craftable all by myself. I don't have to buy mats and spend money on that. I don't have to go to somebody to have some piece crafted for me and tip them. I don't have to do any of that. Now, the reason that this is important, again, back to that auction house. Let's take Vial of the Sands, for instance, which is a beautiful, beautiful selling mount. It sells well. It's a little bit hard to get all the stuff to craft it, but that's another story. At times in the auction house, pyrite bar will be going for as much as 200 gold a bar. Now, you need 36 bars to craft the Vial of the Sands. So you can see where any profit that you're going to make, bam, getting eaten up quick by the mat seller. However, if you can do your own mining and you can do your own smelting and you can do your own enchanting and transmuting and all that bit, you don't have to do any of that. All that is pure profit for you. That's more money that you're going to make. That's more money that you're going to keep in your pocket. So as much as you can, if it's possible to do it, if you've already sitting there and you've got 12 tunes that are already maxed and all that bit, make sure they all are maxed out in all their crafting professions so that you can do anything and everything that you need to do or want to do yourself. And cut that overhead out. Overhead is your enemy. Well, it's one of them. It's probably the major one. So that's where we're at on that. Another, and the fourth principle, it's not really strictly gold making, however, it sort of is. And that is this. All your toons are doing all that farming and all that crafting and all that mat collecting for you need to at least be geared decently. The better that you're geared, the more things you can get into and do. I mean, there's certain raids, I mean, there's a lot of raids actually these days that you can solo that has kick-ass pets in them. You know, most of the raids that have mounts are buy no pickup, but there's a lot of pets, there's a lot of gear, there's a lot of things that you can get as drops in raids and dungeons that will help you, but you got to be geared to go in there and get them. I mean, there's certain mats that you can only get in dungeons and raids. So gear yourself well. Do not go off and like spend all your money right away on gear. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that once you can afford to, you know, maybe you can craft yourself some pieces, or maybe you can now afford a few pieces out of the auction house and still have gold left over to make yourself more gold. But anyhow, make sure you're well geared. Make sure you're well educated, and then you're going to be ready for the gold bags, guys. You're going to be ready for them in a big, big way. This is what the white collar guys who are doing right now are doing to get their big gold. I promise you, they may have 50 million gold now. Once upon a time, they were blue collar mat farmers. Everyone who's ever been in this game started out that way, unless you happen to have a rich Uncle Thrall laying around who just like tossed you $1 million gold to start with. I mean, it's possible. It isn't likely because I haven't seen anything like that, but it is possible. Alright guys, that is going to be it for this video. That is the basic principles about how to become a millionaire in Warcraft and gold cap. If you guys enjoyed this video, by all means, please hit that like button, a good hard smash, and as well share this video because, well, everybody needs the gold. Until next time, this is Skelemystyk reminding you that whatever else you do, always love the game. Peace! Hey, what's up, gamers? This is Skelemystyk. Today I'm going to run you guys through the Skybreaker battle that's in the middle of Icecrown Citadel. Whenever I first came up here and did this battle, I had no idea what was going on. I watched a few guides, but it wasn't really clear. So I'm going to run this battle through for you guys so you can see how to do it quick, efficiently, and not having all the headaches that I have.